Here we go. After buying a 2013 Mercedes Benz C200 from a salvage auction, I've stripped the front end right down, then repaired the minor damage to the non-structural end of the frame, replaced the expansion tank, which was the only broken part in the engine bay, degreased and washed the motor down, replaced the bonnet, started detailing the inside of the car, and then broke the door lock button in the process. Then finally we had enough dry weather to get into the workshop and started replacing parts on the interior with the center console and then the steering wheel cover. Then discovered the newly bought front brake rotors were the wrong ones, so the old ones went back on, but the rears were good. Then the new headlights went in, the replacement fender went on, and then I got the correct front brake rotors and put them on. Then on went the bumper. Whew. What a journey so far. And we're back in the workshop working on the Mercedes Benz C200. And before we dive in, let me show you what has arrived from AliExpress, as well as letting you know what is the plan for this episode. So I ordered a few more bits and pieces, and as far as I'm aware, I have everything I need. If it's not here, it's definitely on order. What is on order is the front half of the wheel arch. It is the only item I have ordered directly from Mercedes Benz. The reason being, I spoke to a couple of wreckers. They wanted $150 for the front half of the wheel arch, which had a crack, it was scuffed, and I can get a brand new one for $180, including GST, from Mercedes Benz. So that is on order. For 30 bucks, I'll just get a brand new one. The other exciting part of this episode is that the windscreen is going to get changed today in about 4 hours, which means that after that, I can look at going and getting the third-party inspection done. So that may even happen in the next episode. I've just got to work that out. Funds are a bit tight now, but right near the end of getting so much closer to painting. Talking about painting, a few bits and pieces were bought, such as little air dryers or water catchers that go on the ends of the guns. I have ordered a few bits and pieces, including a diving mask. So that's something we'll show you in the next couple of weeks as to why I have bought that and what my plan is. What I did order also was a brand new set of 4 jack adapters. These are the original ones I got, and found that these were actually miles too short. As you can see the difference in those right there. These are actually the correct ones. These are either for BMW or for a different series of Mercedes Benz. So what else is going to happen? We're going to put on the radiator cover, put on the new air intake pipe. We're also going to look at taking the seat out because I need to look at repairing the cover or getting a new cover seat, the bottom and the back, sent to me from a company. I'm speaking to someone at the moment, just seeing if I can get, well, pretty much I need an exact match, but I'm just seeing what's possible at the moment. Also, you may remember from previous episodes, this is the air intake for the cabin system, which sits on top of the battery, and there was only one clip holding it on. It's got a little post which then holds a clip which clips onto here. This one here is supposed to have a little bridge across. That part's broken, so it needs to be repaired, and this side, the actual post with the metal clip is completely gone. So I have found some metal clips that will clip on here. They are not the exact ones, so I just made sure that they were going to be long enough so that I can adapt it. I can take the one off that exists there, shape it to be the same, work out about making a post, and then that will be that fixed. But at the meantime too, that has to be completely cleaned out, and so does the actual intake into the car itself. So, last episode, you saw that I went to go and change the buttons out. I got the cover off, we got the cover changed, and the buttons were incorrect. The outsides were spot on, but the backs of the buttons are a different clip-on system to the ones I now have, because there were two different types. Who knew? Anyway, and because I've taken it all off before, I got a special little tool set from AliExpress as well, only because it's got Torx screws, flat heads, and some Phillips, but the Torx screws that were on the back of the actual module, steering wheel control modules, are really tiny, and I had nothing like that, so I got that to make it all that bit easier. Got some new brake pad sensors, because I did break one that was on the front there, and I got a set of 4 for like $5 from AliExpress. So with all of that said, let's dive in and get it done.
What are you going to do next?
Going to take the battery off.
Do you still need to line up the headlights a bit?
No, it's done enough. Oh. Battery is disconnected, as you've just seen, which I need to because I'm removing the airbag. So as shown in the previous episode on how to take it out, we're going to do exactly that. Disconnect it and then take the steering wheel cover off, get the buttons changed and get it back in. Okay, just so you have an idea of what I was talking about before, you can see this was the first set of buttons I bought, which is incorrect. This is hopefully the correct ones. After I took mine off, I took a photo. As you can see in that side profile, they are completely different. They're even like different heights. But the inside of this one is completely different to that. You can tell just through that. Just so you get an idea of the difference. Now let's talk about this. Taking all this apart is easy and fine because I've done it last time. I know exactly what was required. Now having this brand new little toolkit of the Torx head screws, the really small ones, made it really easy because last time, the first time I was trying to do it, it was a nightmare. I didn't have anything small enough and I was trying to use this Allen key, the small one, and I was pushing against it. Anyway, this has made it really easy. Now because these button clip styles are different, after I realized after taking the first one out, I didn't take the others apart. And they're actually quite a bit different to be able to get out. So this took a bit of figuring it out, and hence it's all been speeded up. And some of them were clippable where you had access from the outside, but some of them I had to go through the inside of the button from the back to be able to pry the side apart while trying to pull it off at the same time. Anyway, one by one I accomplished it, but then I got a little confused as to, hang on, which button goes where, because I didn't lay them out properly, this first button, this first module. So I did actually have to go and find a picture of what order the actual buttons were in. So all good. After I got that done, got them all swapped out, got it all back together. Put the back on, put the screws back in, and then put it back into the steering wheel frame, the cover. Now what I had to do last time as well was I had to move around the screws on the back that hold the module in place because some of the buttons would get a little stuck. Now of course, remember, this is an aftermarket steering wheel cover. This is not from Mercedes Benz. But I learnt that from the first time that this might not go all to plan, and sure enough it didn't. So I had to move it around a little bit, trying to adjust the screws in the back because you couldn't screw them all the way down, and then move them side to side because there was a little bit of play. And in the end, I knew I just had to file really carefully just the back parts of the holes where the modules go through, because you didn't see those. And after I actually went through and did that with the needle file set that I've got, it actually made a big difference. And once I put the module back in, it was all good. You can hear all the buttons clicking the way they should. Then it was on to the other one. Get it apart, and there was a screw under the white label that you just saw there. That took me a little while. I could work that out last time, why this thing wasn't coming off, and then realized there was a screw underneath. This time, I've laid them out in the order that they've come out, so I know where they're supposed to go. And again, now that I've done one side, I obviously can do this a bit quicker because I now know how to do them. Then I started to get confused again, because this side, they're just all arrows. But as you can see, this is much quicker the second time around. All back together, clipped it back in, put the screws back in place, and then again, same thing. I needed to file it around to give it just that fraction more room to make sure it's all good. When you put these things back together, you got to make sure you always test it out. One still needed a tiny bit of adjustment. All good. Happy days. Finally got that in. That took a lot longer than it I hoped it should. Anyway, the bottom line is though, it's all in. As you saw, I had to do a tiny bit of filing around just to give it a bit more room. The screw tension on the back is just as important, and I may have to do some adjustment when I put it in, because the two screws here also are going to change the way it sits. So in the meantime, it's now all black, it all looks good, and let's get it back in, get the steering airbag in, and then get on with the next thing. And everything here went according to plan. Everything worked out exactly the way it should. The buttons all clicked nicely, and the airbag just pushed straight back in. Job done. Have a look at that. Looking good. And right, that is now done. Next thing is to clean the air intake. As you can see, it is pretty dirty indeed. So I need to get in there, give it a good wipe, get it all clean. I mean, it's just dust. Give it a good clean. Same with the air box itself. As you can see inside, it's pretty dusty. So we'll get that outside, give it a good blast with the hose, get the water in there, just give it a clean, give it a brush out, and then look at fixing the actual connection, the little clip, and see what we can do about that. Let's get on with that. Well, I found something a little disappointing. So as you can see here, there should be a bridge across here at the bottom of the air box that obviously clips in there before you clip these on. You can see 1, 2, and 3 are missing. I actually do have one of them, and I found it directly down, so I'm pretty sure it's from this one here. And now I've got 2 that aren't there at all. And obviously, to make it nice and tight and snug and fit really well, it would need something on the bottom to be able to hook into, then the top clamps it up, and then beautiful. So I'm gonna have to work out a way on how to fix that. Thinking caps on, people. As you can see, that is far cleaner. Much cleaner indeed than what it was before. Just got to work out about those bits. Well, bugger me, Batman, I may have a solution. This might not look familiar at all, it's just a bit of black plastic, but this one, as well as many others, were the bottom runners that came off the little cup holder slidey tray cover thing. And that just happens to be the right kind of perfect bit of plastic, thickness and all, to go into there. So the idea is I can cut this down between these two lines, work out the exact measurement, and I could probably get that inserted in on the ends and then use that hot stapler that I've got and see if I can join the two sides together, or even first of all use a soldering iron to melt the sides, get this in, and then maybe build it up a little bit and see if that works. Anything's worth a try to fix it up. So that's what I'm going to do, and if I can, you'll be yutti. Now, I have never done this before, this plastic welding, but I've seen quite a few guys online do it. I thought about it a very, very long time ago. I thought, surely it's plastic, it just melts, but I'd never actually tried it. But now that I've seen many a person do it, I thought I'd give it a go. And with my particular soldering iron, it's got a I can set it to different temperatures, so it can be hotter or it can be slightly cooler. And you're about to hear a nice little clip, just like that. So I knew that was in the right place. Not that it's supposed to, but it just happened to go into exactly the right place. Until this happened. Oh. All a learning curve. Just needed to redo it and put a bit more into it. Like I said, I've never done this before. Well, I know it looks a little bit crude, but the important thing is that it does its job more than how it looks. I've got all three, and this is the actual original piece in here, and then I've used two of those parts that came off the console to put into there. So I've leading that now. It is pretty. They are pretty solid. So I'm just going to go through with a file, just neaten them up ever so slightly on the inside, make sure there's enough room, which I think there is, and then I will try it out. Now you would think this is pretty straightforward to get in place, but it's actually quite difficult. Now listen carefully. You ready? Hear those two sounds? I knew that wasn't good. Well, I've put it in. Definitely feels tighter. I just heard a couple of cracks. So that kind of worries me, because what I've just put in may have been undone already. And sure enough, they are undone already. Well, as you can see, both of these didn't stay on. This side is all good. That was always fine. And this one here I put in, totally okay. These two, not so much. So I'm not going to let that get me down. I am going to work out a way to make it work. So out with one of my new toys from AliExpress. These things are just awesome. Super easy to use. I actually even read the instructions on how to do it. And super quick to get hot. You literally pull the trigger and like 1.5 seconds later that thing is like
melting into the plastic.
Okay, I've used hot staples here and here, cut them off, just could fit in the grinder and a die grinder over here just to get the sharp bits cut down. Now we'll try and see if it holds, because this one completely broke off, fell and disappeared, so I just cut a new piece. And I've tried to put it in, so let's test it out. Well, it's all good because the windscreen has been replaced. Happy days. So, just that little bit closer to getting it safety inspected, which basically I can get done now. So I'll give them a quick call, find out when I can get it in and arrange that. That means I'm also going to just confirm. I have been told that it needs to rock up without the bumper on. And if that's the case, then I will need to organise a trailer and take it out there along with all the parts that I don't want to throw on yet. Yes, I haven't thrown the grille on as yet. That is going to be left last once the car is painted and everything, and then it's literally the last thing that's going to go in with a star emblem. Got to leave some things as a surprise, right? As you can see, it's in, it's clipped on here. It's definitely not moving at the bottom, so it's pretty tight. So next issue is to make a small little post for the clamp on, just like this one. I'm not 100% sure what to do about here. As you can see, that needs to be bridged so that can clip onto something. The day is done, the sun is going down. So we'll get to this tomorrow. I never got the seat out, so I do need to do that. But it is getting there. It's not far off at all. So, very close indeed, but even for the tiny amount of time that it's been sitting here, which is only a couple of hours since it's been finished, the windscreen is really dusty. And Tristan, my eldest, was just asking, how am I going to paint in here? And it is a very good question. So plastic's got to be hung up all the way around. Got to put some really large fans that I've got down at the bottom of the door, bring the door down, create that as an exhaust, completely wet the floor to hold the dust down, and that's how I've seen pretty much everyone who's doing it at home in their garage, shared workshop. If I had something far bigger, I'll probably go and buy one of those inflatable booths, but this is just not big enough to do that. So anyway, that's down the track, but it's really not that far down the track at all. Anyway, leave a comment, subscribe, like, do all that kind of stuff. We'll see you tomorrow when we continue on the C200. Welcome back to the workshop. We are in. It is the next day. The plan is Callum and I are going to take out both the front seats, the driver's seat and the passenger seat, vacuum to the sides next to the console and the inside of the seat where you can't normally get to. Then we're going to put the passenger seat back in place, and then I'm going to look at the driver's seat because I need to know if I can take the cover off the bottom and the back myself, and then I can confirm with the company that I'm talking to in Malaysia about getting the seat bottom and cover sent over to me, and then that will fix both the bottom and the back. So let's do that first.
So the first thing to do when you're ever going to be taking seats out that have airbags in them is you need to disconnect the battery.
That's it, so then I can't touch the battery. Good.
Now, I had never pulled seats like this out of a car before, not where the seatbelt was actually joined to the seat, so I wasn't exactly sure on how to pull these side clips out, so I just yanked them out. 4 bolts is all that holds the seats down. Disconnect the power to the seat, and the yellow one is the airbag connection. Now this took some maneuvering around. I could just get the head out And then I was like, how am I going to do this? So then I need to realise I need to move the rails, and then I was going to be able to get it.
That. Now.
One big baby.
Yeah, just get it started. Oh, that hasn't got a floor to keep it in. Oh, there is. Okay, now. Put that on. Let's get it out. Oh!
Did-
The wires underneath.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to disconnect them.
Yep, that was the cracking sound of the rail underneath. You learn these things as you go. Anyway, something else that I now have to fix.
Yeah, thanks.
This plastic rail is broken. See?
What?
You
Oh.
see
Yeah.
this rail here,
Oh yeah.
just to here, so I just need to do a bit of special plastic. Oh, it's broken on both sides. Brilliant. We shall fix that up. Oh, a little harder than I thought. We looked up a video about taking the headrests off, and then the whole back's got to come off to take that out. So try to do it without, and we could. So we're going to clean it all out now, vacuum it up. Quickly attend to the broken bit of plastic underneath, which is just holding the electrical terminals. It's not part of the safety or anything. And then see what else we can do. Let's get on with that. You can see the dirt. Some food's just gone down here and a little bit up here, so we're going to try this carpet cleaner with the brushes on it and see if it'll wipe clean.
You can just clean the plastic. That looks much better. Can't even see the food anymore.
Well, a quick trip down to Bunnings to go and get some Gorilla Glue, because that is not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be nice and strong, like this one here. And also, one of the seat guards broke. I probably should have gone online and had a quick look first to see how these things are done instead of just having a go. And the other thing that also needs a bit of glue is this spot here. I've clipped it on where it belongs, but this here is supposed to be glued in all the way. So that's going to get a bit of super glue, and that can just sit there and hopefully dry. I mean, it's hanging on this end, but let's just fit it on all the way and then it's going to seal properly. They are now glued. That's glued. This is now glued. And I glued the rubber onto the little headlight tag that joins, that clips onto the actual bumper. So they're just going to leave till tomorrow, so they're absolutely completely dry. Carpets have come up really nice. Callum's pretty happy. Found a few dollars, so straight into his pocket. And happy days. I bought a pack of 2 of clips, which you just saw, and one had the original one and one was the new one. These are both out of the set. I started to, as you can see, bend it correctly, and then when I got to this end, there was a bend down like that one, but they just broke off, and I kind of thought that might happen because it's not one piece. It's not one thickness all the way across, it's split in 2. Of course, it becomes a lot weaker like that. And then, as I've tried to do this one has broken off, and obviously there's no point in trying to do it because that needed to be quite round. The end result is that I'm just going to have to go to a wrecker's and get one off a car. It's just that simple. Just get the original one. I have tried to find these on the parts list, and I did find them, but you put in the part number online and it just doesn't come up. So I know if you happen to have one and you're out there, then let me know. Drop something in the comments so I can get in contact with you somehow. Thanks so very, very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share the videos with people who you know will be interested in seeing cars like this being brought back and put out there back on the roads. This is obviously not back on the road yet, but it's not going to be far off. I do have the safety inspection booked. Unfortunately, I've got to wait just under a couple of weeks before I can get that done, but there's still a few things, well, there's quite a few things I need to do. And then one of the main things I want to get done now is get the center console out so that silver surrounding around the gear stick can be redone. I'm going to look at trying to do it a gloss black because to actually buy it and replace it in the original brushed chrome finisher that it's got on it is like over $350. So anyway, please like, please subscribe, please share. I really want to hit a milestone of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Nothing's impossible. I've always said to the kids, a dream without legs is just a fantasy. So I'm putting legs to my dreams. Make your dreams real, people. My doctor, make your dreams real. I should put that on a t-shirt. Let me know. Send some comments through. Tell me how I'm going. Tell me what you think. And in the meantime, we'll see you on the next one.